I know this is a bit of a strange video for my channel, but this is some content I filmed a long time ago and I have nowhere else to post them. And also, it is my goal to monetize this channel, so I really appreciate you guys giving me some more watch hour. So without further ado, let's head in. We started our day by checking out from our hotel and hopping over to the restaurant next door that we've decided to drive at the very last day of our trip. And the food was very good. Every dumpling was made by this guy, hand wrapping it, very quick. And the food was very good. And after the breakfast, we decided, since we are hauling two big luggages, we have to pretty much get a cab or a taxi. You cannot use Uber in mainland China, but they have many more options for you to call a private car. We use a map here to call our car. It was a 20-minute journey from our hotel to the Maglev station, and you can see the famous Oriental Pearl TV tower. And 20 minutes later, we have arrived at our starting location, the Longyang Square, or the Longyang Station, which is the starting point of the Maglev line. The driver dropped us off at this pretty awkward spot here, right next to the museum. Here we can see the tracks going out to the airport. And sadly, today we don't have time to check out the Maglev Museum, but the Shanghai Maglev Demonstration Operation Line, which is quite a mouthful, opened in 2004. It is the first and only commercially operated high-speed Maglev train. A regular ticket costs 50 Chinese yuan, and you can have 20% off if you have a same-day airplane ticket departing from Pudong. After getting the tickets, we went through security check like any other Chinese subway station, which I did not film. And up some escalators, we found ourselves with the Maglev train right here. And somehow it looks futuristic and dated at the same time. So we made our way into the train cabin. So this cabin in particular is in the 2x2 configurations. We have plenty of space to put our stuff, plenty of leg room, and we also have the overhead bin, which we did not use because we have so much space. Even a tiny little table. We have a movable window shades, and overhead we have reading lights and the assistant button. And boom, just like that, we departed the station at 11:20 right on time. And wow, the sense of acceleration is pretty immense in this train. You can feel yourself being pushed into the seat, and just a minute after departure you're already passing 170, 180. It just keeps going up, the number keeps going up, and the sense of acceleration, the force keep pushing you into the seat until like 2 minutes later when we reach our speed limit of 300 kilometers per hour. Historically, the Shanghai Maglev had a cruising speed of 430 km per hour, and this was reduced to 300 km per hour later. And like I said, the whole journey is 29 kilometers, so the trip takes about 7 to 8 minutes, which is very fast. Like, the Hong Kong Airport Express is 35 kilometers long, but it takes roughly 24 minutes, which is 3 times longer. And here I'm trying to show you how shaky this cabin is. It feels like you're in a medium-sized ferry, like rocking a little bit, but it's not very shaky. And here in the background you can see our legs swaying from the side-to-side motion. It's more gentle and it's not shaking like a high-frequency shake, like in a bus. And 6 minutes later, we're already in the vicinity of the airport itself. We can see planes taking off, and we can also see the line of traffic getting into Pudong Airport itself, which we are beating by taking the Maglev. Of course, there's many ways to get into the airport itself, but we chose the Maglev because of the novelty and the time it saved. 8 minutes for 30 kilometers is a big time save if you consider traffic and the multiple stop in other subway lines. And just before we left the train, let's have a look at the 3x3 configuration cabins. And they also have dedicated luggage racks at the door And they have staffs on the platform if you need help. And we made our way to the exit via the escalators. And here at the gate, I'm trying to tap it, seeing if I can keep the ticket for myself, but no, you have to insert it and you don't get it back. And right outside the station exit is the McDonald's. And then the travelators will guide you to your terminals. In our case, Terminal 2. I like listening to the noise that the wheel makes when they travel on the travelators. And here we are, Terminal 2. And this is a pretty big terminal. You have all these letters from A to K. And making the 200 plus meter walk to aisle D, we found ourselves at the Cathay Pacific check-in counter. And after a quick check-in and security check, which took us quite a while, we made ourselves into the air side of the terminal. The air side of the terminal is pretty big, it's very long. And the majority of the stuff to do is centered around the security check area. You have your restaurants and your duty-free shops around there. And you also have this pew-shaped cabin that takes 35 Chinese yuan for half an hour. Quite an interesting novelty. Walking around a Asian airport is pretty interesting because they tend to be pretty big and modern, but they also have the same kind of stuff, you know, your relaxing spot, your seating area, your fast food chain, your local style restaurant that is a little bit too expensive. The terminal features floor-to-ceiling windows, but they do have a lot of structures and frames, so you do have to get close for a good plane spotting. They have a Pokemon pop-up shop, yep, so that's cool. And we have a Cathay Pacific 777. Look at those big old engines. Wow. And we have a rock around, and we found an area for children and a piano that I play some chords in. Backdoor 25, if you know what I mean. E flat. And Delta 77, that is our gate to Cathay 377 to Hong Kong. And a beautiful shot here with our plane, and in the background is the China Eastern 777-300ER with the special Shanghai Museum livery. Taking us to Hong Kong today is this 15 years old Cathay Pacific A330-300, register Bravo Lima Alpha Kilo. There are plenty of seats around the boarding gate area, and I'll be having this final little treats while we wait and enjoy the ground operations. It is time to board. This particular A330 is pretty special with the Type 33J long-haul style cabin configuration with 28 Safran Series 2 reverse herringbone seat in a 1-to-1 layout and 265 Weber 5751 seats arranged in a standard 242 configuration. Sitting at 62K, you get a view at the back of the wing. Maybe due to the long-haul configuration, you get a good 32 pitch between the seats. That is a generous amount of legroom for a guy like me, being 170 centimeters tall. The in-flight entertainment are powered by the Panasonic EX2 systems. The screen is a 10.3-inch touchscreen. The system itself feels a little bit dated, that is, if it works at all, because unfortunately, my partner here happens to get a broken touchscreen. Valve, Cathay, please fix. For now, please enjoy the captain's announcement.
Jane, that's Tan and the entire crew, welcome aboard flight 377 to Hong Kong. Expecting to be on our way very shortly, and a flight time of 2 hours and 10 minutes to Hong Kong. A few bumps possible during our climb out of Shanghai. Just a reminder for your safety and for the safety of those around you to keep your seatbelts fastened at all times whilst you are seated. Looking after you in the cabin, your in-flight services manager Loretta will shortly be presenting this aircraft safety briefing, as it does contain very important information. I'd ask you to please pay particular attention to that. And I'll speak to you again just prior to our descent with some updated arrival details. In the meantime, please make yourself comfortable, and once again, welcome aboard.
After the announcement, it's time for pushback and startup. I'll be talking less to let you enjoy the sounds of this aircraft engine starting up and taxiing. Here we see the pilots doing their flight control checks. A final look below as the wings tilt over the mouth of the Yangtze River. Watching China's longest river slips into the East China Sea. It doesn't take us long to reach 15,000 feet, and I think it's time for us to stretch our legs. The economy class onboard lavatory is pretty standard, pretty small as well, just enough for me to turn around. Hand creams and antiseptic hand gels are provided, a mandatory ashtray, as well as a changing table. Cruising at flight level 11,600 meters, let's take a look around our seat. A USB 8 and an old EX port is below the screen. Below that is a very tight bifold tray table that has a cup holder on the outside. And below that is the seatbelt pocket with 3 little extra pockets on the outside with a in-flight magazine, a safety card, and an air sickness bag. And on the overhead panel, we only have reading lights but no personal air vents. And 50 minutes after takeoff, our lunch is served. For the main dish, I went with the beef with red wine sauce and baked potatoes. My partner went with the braised chicken with lotus root and steamed rice, with an ice cream, a side of tasty fresh fruit, and a warm bread roll with butter. Metal cutlery as well as antiseptic towelettes are provided, as well as a beverage of your choice. The main dish is very tasty. I really like this sauce as well as the potatoes. Being a man-child that I am, I actually spilled my drinks all over my pants and seats, and I have to clean myself off with the many tissue paper that they gave me. Half an hour later, as we headed inside Hong Kong FIR, we descended back to the Imperial flight levels.
Hello everyone, shortly we are arriving at the Hong Kong International Airport. Cabin crew, pre-landing check please, thank you.
And with that, our flight is approaching its end. Thank you so much for watching this video and helping me boost my watch hour. And now I want you guys to enjoy this approach and landing into runway 07 Center at Hong Kong International Airport. Until next time, see you guys.